Overwatch Stadium Theorycrafting, Illari Edition. Disclaimer, I taught myself game design. I'm probably wrong about a lot of things. And, oh well. Why did I choose Illari? Illari is one of my favorite sports to play. I understand the kit well enough that I thought I could make this. We'll see if that's right. And they've had a number of game modes where their kit has been expanded or made into a meme. Thank you, April Fools. Totally Normal Watch is a wonderful game mode. Most of Illari's kit currently fits well with Stadium, except for Pylon, because there aren't any deployables yet. When I was making this video, I did not see the developer were adding these heroes next list, but on it I did see Winston, so that's at least one deployable, I think. Does the shield count? Who cares? And I would like, at least for Stadium, a slight tweak where Illari can use Outburst during free flight, because she can't currently, and that's weird, and why? Oh well. Powers. Adaptive Energy. Primary and secondary fire can both do damage and heal for half of their effectiveness. What this means is that the totally normal watch thing where you could laser your enemies and shoot your allies to heal them, I'm gonna do that. Half effectiveness, because honestly, if you could do both, then why wouldn't you just take advantage of that constantly? That didn't flow smoothly. Oh well. Larger heal. You get a larger healing radius because you can shoot your allies to heal them. That's great because, at least in my experience, why do your teammates always run away from supports? Juno and Ana, I can probably thank thank coding for this, because they both have projectiles that heal and damage. I'm not sure if there's code for that for a laser, but oh well. You will see some synergy with this in following powers, and it's probably a good power to get for the start of your build, especially if you're doing a weapon power build where you can just one-shot people with the headshot, or fully heal people instantly with the laser. I'm not sure. Solar Lance. Healing effects pierce enemy barriers and ally players. You can heal multiple people with your laser. Yeah, the only barrier right now is Reinhardt's shield, but that will change soon. I was planning to do Winston next, and now I kind of have to because they're coming out soon. Oh well. That's great. It will prevent the person you're healing from getting cut off, which now the only way that they can get lost and scream at you for not healing is getting stuck on a wall, which... Can you tell I play a lot of support? I play a lot of every role, but support is... support. You can heal more than 3 people, because previously you could only heal 2 with the pylon healing 1 and you lasering somebody. So, and now that heals more people. That's great. It's not overpowered, I think. Even though your healing can't be blocked by a barrier anymore, there's still anti-nade, and the DPS passive, and walls. Maybe I should just make this one go through walls too. I don't... Oh. It's not great by itself, but... Oh well. I say it a lot, don't I? Branding Irons. Melee hit burns enemies for 40 damage. Illari's gun is very sharp. At least it looks very sharp in most of her skins. Maybe not pajamas, but oh, whatever. it's still powered by the sun. The sun is hot. I would give it bleed, but again, pajamas exists, so it's burn, and also bleed is kind of Junker Queen's thing, even though burn used to be ashes, and then they gave it to everybody. Audible shrugging. Illari's melee takes about 1 and a bit seconds to do the full thing, I think. The maximum charge takes 1 and very slightly a little bit seconds to fully charge. So in numbers that doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but you can shoot somebody, melee them, have full charge for the next shoot or shot, use your outburst to get them away from you, shoot them again, and then at that point they're probably dead, but if they're following you again, you can melee them and, well, at that point you won't have outburst, but they're probably dead by the third headshot, right? Maybe not in Stadium, and especially not if they're Orisa, because the horse doesn't die. Audible shrugging. I'm gonna be honest, most of the ideas for powers I had were for outburst. There's gonna be a lot of outburst ones. Melee hit burns for 40 damage, 40 weapon damage. I'm not actually sure what value melee damage does in the Stadium. It should be weapon damage, but it might have its own thing, and that's just pain, so it's 40 weapon damage. Because again, you're slapping somebody with the sun. Sunspots. Healing Pylon has an additional charge. You can throw 2 of them, but it heals about 30% slower. Why am I saying about? It's exactly 30% slower. I made this thing. Why am... it's not... It's pretty strong. The game mode I stole this from, I think, was the Lilith game. It was pretty good, but it was also PvE, so... Oh, well... You get like 140% of your normal pylon healing if both are up, and it's slightly worse for your enemies because they have to destroy 2 pylons, and most of my teammates can't kill 1. Not sure about you guys, but nobody attacks the turrets. Oh well, at least it won't get stronger, right? Oh. You can fix the healing less with ability stat power, ability power. I don't know. I'm not sure how to defend this one, honestly. It just has a burst range heal. Make it so that the animation, it makes it really clear to the enemy where it is, and maybe it'll be slightly more balanced. This is probably my worst idea, I'll be honest. Maybe there's a worse one, but... Implosion. Outburst pulls enemies towards the cast location and sends illari 50% more. You go forward if you tap it, and you go up if you hold it, so... just 50% more. If, for example, Elucio throws you off of the stage and is standing too close, when you use Outburst to get back on the stage and not die, maybe it'll yoink them into the void. Probably won't if it's an Orisa, who can also do that, but... I don't know. Maybe... I don't... More mobility just directly More mobility directly translates to more fun, right? If you can move more, it's more fun to play that character. Might be less fun to shoot them, but shooting people is already not the main thing for most of Stadium. You get better escape, you can have better flanks, and if you have a teammate that gets value from having all of the enemies close together, like Farah, who isn't in Stadium yet, but I'll do them eventually, I think, or one of the melee sweepers, being Reinhardt, Brig, or technically Winston. I know he's not melee, but he does kind of benefit from everybody being in one spot. Segment 2, actually. There's a lot of heroes that do that. It's good because it pulls them all together. Also, getting an environmental kill is probably one of the best things that you can do in a shooter. At least the best feeling. Sunburn. I stole a perk. It's a good perk. I like this perk. It does ability damage now, so you can make it better. That's the only thing I've changed. Solar Sails. Gain 1 second of free flight after using Outburst. You get it at the farthest point of your jump, so if you're tapping it, you go far and then hover, and if you hold it, you go up and then hover. This is again because mobility is just fun, and free flight isn't that big of a problem when you have like 1 second of it and are not 30 meters above the ground. You also kind of get a diet ult because you do an AoE attack and then are flying, right? A diet ult. Cauterize. Outburst heals people standing near you. I added the cleanse because this was objectively worse than the... I think it's the secondary fire? The laser. And this one's partially based on just Lucio's thing where he uses Soundwave and then if you have high enough ability, healing heals everybody within his range and slightly farther. Cleansing isn't really that broken of an effect unless it's on Suzu, because Zarya can cleanse, and while she's oppressive in Stadium, she's not like, oh no, this hero can cleanse for the rest of the base game. I'm sure there's another hero that can cleanse, I just can't remember them at the moment. Plus, also, Reinhardt has that one perk where he cleanses himself on charge. I don't think anyone uses that. I might get yelled at for saying that, but oh well. Also, it's not it's an item, not a power. Whoops. Eclipse. You get one more outburst charge. It doesn't sound powerful, but it is, because, again, movement is fun, and Juno gets an ability that does basically the same thing, just for a damage and healing effect instead of outburst. And Juno, while they did nerf her pulsar builds very recently, I don't know why they did that. It was fun. It was fine. You beat the pulsar build by just focusing the Juno. The pulsar build... Yeah, I talked enough about the pulsar build. If you think that I gave too many pulsar... Stop saying pulsar. If you think that I gave Outburst too many abilities, that's probably fair. But I think that, like, half of Genji's abilities are for deflect, and more than half of his items are too. They really want you to deflect on Genji, despite deflect being something you do for, like, 1 second and then stop doing it. Also, this is the last Outburst perk. You'll see new stuff now. I put a Zarya grab inside of the captive slum. It explodes as soon as it touches the ground, but it's funny. It's a big explosion that pulls people into it and then explodes again. Also, this can kind of stop overtime, but I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because you can just... Illari has the most expensive ult in a game, so if you save it for overtime and then use it to get everybody off of the point, then I think that's probably fine. Also, black holes are funny. Overflow. I did not think of a good name for this one, but when you're flying, not airborne, because airborne is jumping too, but when you're actually flying, you rain the lava droplets that you get for Diva boosters, or Torbjorn thing. You get more area denial on your ult. It's still the most expensive ult in the game. If you get the free flight outburst perk and the extra outburst, you can probably stay in the air for like 10 seconds. And that's a lot of lava, honestly. But it's funny, and it's fun, it's funny. That's kind of my design philosophy. Overwatch doesn't have that design philosophy, but it really should. And I am out of slides, so I'm gonna do this for Winston next, and hopefully it'll be slightly better than this one.